get it done. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Stand Up Speakeasy. I'm your host, Sareth Ney. And every episode, I bring a comic on from coast to coast. And without further ado, she's appearing on Sareth Fest, the last and final one at Punk Rock Pizza. Give it up for Alysse Stewart. Hey, Alysse, how are you?
I'm excited. I had something planned, Sareth, and I want to get it out of the way because I don't know. That's the only thing I planned, and I want to hear it. Let's just get. You see that? We see the Sareth Fest in the background.
Oh wow, you got the poster up. That's so cool.
Yeah, we traded swag for it last year, and I wrote us a rap, Sareth. I wrote us a rap. So okay, you're gonna like the song. Okay, hold on. Wait, shut up until I'm done. I'm sorry. I love you. Bye. I'm not bye. My name is Alysse, and it's nice to meet ya. Come see us perform at Punk Rock Pizza. So many comics to impress. To join us for Sareth Fest. I fucked it up. Take two. This isn't live, right? We just cut back and start this over.
Oh no, we're just gonna let it run. Bloopers and all, but
I know.
I love the good stuff. Yeah, I'm rocking the beanie, and I went to Chappelle's gift shop, and I got a shirt that says
your Bluetooth is fine. Your green screen is not letting you show the shirt. Try again.
Oh yeah, I think it's because it's a green microphone or something.
Cool.
But it says Dave Chappelle's summer camp, and I made it look like I went to his summer camp, but I didn't really go to summer camp on my Instagram story. So
I think lying is just acting when you're an artist, right? Whatever.
You gotta embellish a little bit. Yeah. And then I guess it was just fun. I'm like, because like social media, like 99% of it's lies anyway, so you might as well stunt a little.
Right. Well, if I'm not having fun, I don't want to do it. I guess it depends on the job, but for comedy, for sure, I think I constantly want to have fun with it.
Oh yeah. And it's been a fun ride. You're gonna love the rest of it. I lasted like 12 years until I'm like, all right, all my dreams came true. I'm like off to the next thing.
Wow, man. What's it like to have your dreams come true and to like help us with ours? What a weirdo you are.
I know it's weird. It's just, I don't know, I'm like selfless, and like love bringing value to my fellow comics, and like avoiding cliques and beefs and just doing my thing and just like leveling up my people. That's all I want to do.
Yeah, but you got your Wu-Tang constantly like through your third eye. You just want to like view the world through gangster rap, but you're one of the nicest guys with some of the raunchiest comedy I've heard.
That's Professor Squirt over here. Okay.
Yeah, she knows. She knows a couple of things about it.
Oh, but there's some squirt bottles.
Go drink a bottle of yourself. Superstar.
Oh, I love me some. Was it Molly Shannon?
That's Molly Shannon, yeah. But like the whole gang's in it. I know Will Ferrell is like her love interest in that one, and that was I had the rap planned, which I fucked up the rap. Good job, Alysse. And then I had the squirt bottle planned, and then that's it. And then I got nothing. So what's up, man?
We'll dive into your journey as a comedian. How about that?
That sounds fun. Oh, that sounds fun. It's a little bit of a hard story. I don't know what story is easy for people who choose to be comics, right? Like we go about our lives in such turmoil, and then we try to make it digestible and funny for others around us. Wow. Okay. It started in 2002. I was in the 6th grade, and it was like when emails started and stuff. So I had an email, and I found the internet, and I found dirty jokes, and I curated like a bunch of dirty jokes in a row, and I emailed it to all of my friends, and I was awesome. Like it was awesome. People loved it. And then my parents had an accounting firm at the time, and like one of her clients comes in with the printed out pages of all of these dirty jokes, and I did get in trouble, and I don't remember. I wasn't in too much trouble. It was just like a little bit of trouble. It's like, you just can't do this, but we thought it was funny. And then my dad gave me some of the best advice that I'd ever heard was like, don't write them down. Don't share them like that. Just say them out loud. Just say your dirty jokes out loud. And then there's no like evidence. But I know they pass those jokes out like at their work. I know other families. I'm pretty sure like plenty of people laughed. But that was it. For the longest time, I was never an entertainer. I think I just did like the board and music lights for like a senior year. I was the tech for the senior freshman play. And then nothing. I tried to do engineering school. I went to a military academy for 3 years. And when it came down to our internships, we had choices. And it was either to like as part of your educational program. And I didn't want to do the Hoover Dam because they drug tested. Oops. I didn't want to do Imagineering or Mythbusters because it was really sought after and I didn't want to be told no. And I also didn't want like to know too much. I didn't want to hate things that I loved, right? And I chose the Aquarium of the Pacific, which is an aquarium. I was an engineer. I was the only one. Everyone wanted to work with the animals, and I didn't give a shit. Give me machines and dials and bubbles, and I'm happy. And I remember just walking around and hanging out and giving dialogue to a tank. And I don't remember what tank or what the storyline was, but I had like 2 grown men bent over all the way. Like, you know, people usually stand up like this. They were bent over, couldn't breathe because they were laughing so hard at just some stupid stuff I was saying. So I like ended the story and, you know, let the guys breathe, you know, and one of them was like, hey, well, what's your name? And I was like, I'm nobody. No, don't worry about it. He's like, no, I've never laughed that hard. What's your name? And then I thought about it. And because of other personal problems that were happening at engineering school, I dropped out of that and then joined film school, where I was just throwing shit at everything. You know, the term, don't keep all your eggs in one basket.
Mm-hmm.
So the theory behind that is if you have all of your eggs in one basket, the basket could break. It could get stolen. All of those eggs, all of that worth is now gone. So I was throwing as many eggs in as many different directions, hoping one hit the pan. And I worked. I did school for I don't know how many years. I started in 2012. I was done with it. More turmoil happened there, and I won't get into the darkness of that. But I did get a job working for Major League Baseball. You ever heard of that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you're a sports fan, but people generally know like the America's pastime. And I turned into a fly on the wall. I had gone through a lot of hard times. There was a lot of issues in the industry, you know, like I did well when I first started because I was an eager beaver, ready to, you know, say yes to everything and do everything. But as soon as you're not new, it's harder to rehire you. And as soon as you work for someone and then you can't do it, they'll just find someone else. People want to know why LA aliens, the weirdness of those people, why we're so mean. Well, I mean, traffic. We're constantly on fire. The homeless, like everyone's begging for everything. People came in on dreams that are now dead and decaying along with their teeth and their brain. And not to mention the elevation changes, like the Rocky Mountains are in one spot, but the rest of California is a topographical fuckery. You can notice that I didn't graduate college with my words there. And I ran away. My boyfriend at the time, this was 2018, 2019-ish. Left. He hated LA. And then I just was the hottest I'd ever been, was vulnerable. And then too much time to kill. So I started comedy and it went pretty well. I did it for 2 months. I went to a handful of places and got booked a couple of times. And then I had someone kissed me in my ear hole off stage, which could just be a polite thing like cultures, right? You kiss on both sides, whatever. But it reminded me of all the times I've been kissed without asking. Like I remember watching my mess of a friend doing stand-up comedy. And just to describe how much of a mess someone can be, she had a broken leg, 2 broken legs, and like is one of those comics that needs to read it. Like they wrote their jokes a certain way, so they have to read it verbatim. Otherwise it's not their joke. And she's having a hard time up there. And I'm just trying to absorb every little thing. And this dude comes at me and he kisses me in my ear hole. And I remember giving like, and I don't know, I can be really cute. I remember giving like thanks and watching him like slowly back out of the room. But it was that moment. I didn't go back to that mic. I didn't go back to any mics at all. I'd forgotten about that moment. And then had started to remember all of the other times that things like that had happened. I went on a tirade on the internet. I got a producer I worked with fired. He was a DJ just for some artist at the time, and kissed me in an elevator, like some pretenses, whatever. And I didn't even remember that. It took me 2 years to come clean on that. And I just disintegrated. Everything was a joke at that point. I didn't learn yet that you're not supposed to make light or tell jokes if you're not over it, right? Like if you're not over a traumatic experience, it's hard to make a joke about it and be, because you're supposed to take it lightly in a joke, right? Like whatever seriousness of it, you make light of it. You elevate whatever you're trying to say in a humorous manner. And I just absolutely had a mental breakdown, and I quit. At the same time I started comedy was the same time I quit the best thing that ever happened to me, which was working in media for baseball. Actually, the same, that 6th grade, I quit science. I was a science nerd. I got to the state science fair and I thought I was a science nerd. I thought I was a nerd. I thought I was super studious. I just wanted, I wasn't a bad kid yet. And then I get to the state science fair and I see these geniuses around me and I go, oh shit, Alysse, you're not a genius. You're charismatic. And then I found, I don't know, mischief and I guess some illicit substances at some point. But I think badly about my early drug and alcohol use, but it wasn't my idea. So I try to give myself some leniency for having the problems that I do as an adult. Anyway, okay. Moving on. Okay, so that was 2018, and then I fucked off to Michigan. You know that the Mitt, right? I think it's this way. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. So I was in the Thumb, and just like as a funny joke, you know what's under the Mitt? Fingers. Michigan's fingering the fuck out of Canada. That's why you get those Niagara Falls. You know the cool. Thank you. There's a delay. I need laughter. I need laughter to feel good as a person.
Why haven't I heard that joke on stage from you yet? How come I haven't heard that joke from you on stage yet? That's why.
Okay, so it's a better joke. Okay, let me start the joke. That's not good on stage, that I have tried on stage, that has failed on every stage that I've tried to stage it. I'm from California, right? So, oh man, and I should have like a thing. And it looks like the leftover pizza crust you don't want. Yeah, so that was dry. I left that arid bitch. And then I went to the state with the most fresh water on the planet. Like, I think, the Great Lakes has the most fresh water. Not all of them are fresh water. Science and geography. But the most water on the planet. I was like, that seems smart coming from a place that was in a precipice. California, Beverly Hills, Rodeo Drive, that famous shopping center. Mm-hmm. It's got one of the biggest fault lines underneath. And they discover this after, science and technology developed enough that they were able to map all of the, shifting plate tectonics, the fault lines. It's the biggest one they found was under Rodeo Drive. So you can't, like insurance, you can't build on there anymore. It's impossible. So only existing structures can be there. And when when the world ends, when it opens up, when the part of the earth that is the most separated finally does separate, it'll be like that high level of consumerism. Now I'm talking about how hard LA is again. I fucked off to Michigan. Okay. Yeah. So then of course, and I'm just trying to get horny. I'm just trying to have a good time. So I go to Michigan. I feel like I try to figure out what it's like to love a woman, which is not really a joke. I was with my now ex for 10 years, and I had you've heard my beer jokes. Have you? And then Florida, and then I moved to the dick. See, this is why the jokes don't work on stage. I'm too frenetic all over the place. I think it needs visual aids.
Yep. And your visual aids needs to be positive.
Yeah, well, that's why I bring the pussy poster around. I don't have it. Your next guest, Sean Steele, has my pussy hostage, which sounds horrifying. And it's just I have a poster. For those of you who don't know, I have a poster board highlighting the pleasure centers of the woman's parts. I am a professor, and I want to profess that I want you to squirt. It's a mess. I squirt. And if I have to make a mess, then I want others to also make a mess.
Someone get the mop and glow.
Right. Or just the wet floor sign. You don't have to, I hydrate a lot, so it's not that stinky, but if you leave it there it depends on how fresh the pee is. So if you let the urine sit for a long time, it's gonna like ferment, right? Just like beer and alcohol does, yummy. So if you like hydrate and then immediately squirt, it's less gross. Um, yeah. So okay. So those were the geography jokes, and they don't work because I'm not good at it yet. And so give me time for that one. I don't know. I think I was talking to a veteran comic and like, hey, what do what do you think? What's your impression? And he was just honest, like, wow, that young lady has a lot to express sexually, and yeah, I don't know if I was activated at 7, so it's all I can think about. And I remember trying, and Alette, your previous comic, mentioned it as well, how she wanted to write clean. I know Wendy has been trying to her Wendy Gillis has been trying to get me to write clean. And I did, I for a little bit, even before she had suggested it, and I got so depressed. I wasn't writing anything much, and the things that I did write were just hollow, and I wasn't having fun. And once I like the dirty jokes started coming back, I was happy. I don't know. I'm just a raunchy comic. Don't bring your kids to the show.
Yeah. For real, like, and you know what I noticed? Like, all the clean comics are horrible people off stage, and all the dirty comics are fun people, like loving people off stage.
What's up, dude? You and me both.
Like
Hell yeah.
all the
Oh
indeed.
man.
I didn't. So now I know why they're miserable. And now I know why they're miserable. Like, it's not fun writing clean jokes. I mean, sure, you
Yeah,
get
I
paid
think
a lot telling them, but it's so miserable. Like, ugh. Like, I mean, I have clean jokes up my arsenal, but other than that, I don't. Or in my arsenal, up my arsenal. It sounds really dangerous if I say up my arsenal, but in my
well, you are
arsenal.
stressed. Let's put it
uh,
up there. Let's see what happens. Yeah,
yeah.
me too. I got some jokes, but they're still like toilet humor. I got a bit about numbers like 1 and 2 and all and like the obvious ones. And I one of them is educational, where the term pissing like a racehorse. Don't. It's bad for your
Mhm.
pelvic floor. And then I talk about how peeing slow is kegling. And then I talk about me breaking my dry spell, which I don't know if you've ever had this problem, Sareth, but I am too tight, apparently. And I've heard his dick skin separated from his shaft. Oh man, I wasn't going to mention that. Okay, so now that that's funny. The real quick, when I did the coolest stage that I've done beforehand, before coming to Jacksonville, before taking a loser break in Michigan for 6 years, what was it? Oh man, I'm not even gonna remember it. And I brought my boyfriend to a show, and he had heard some of my jokes before, but none of my squirting ones. And he just and like the comedians before him just hit every topic that irked him, and then one of them made fun of him for being a doomsday prepper, which the jokes
Mhm.
were valid. And then by the time I'm done and someone else goes up there and starts, like doing the crowd work on specifically him, because he's like front and center for whatever stupid fucking reason, he fucking explodes and leaves. And that was my last time performing in California. Damn it, Burbank. What was it called?
Flappers.
Flapper. Oh, I'm sorry
Yeah.
for yelling. Thank you. Flappers. Yeah, they had filet mignon chili. Very tasty.
Tasty.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
they
have a
booked me
story
a
about.
couple of times, but once I moved to Michigan, they didn't I was just a local comic to fill in their Tuesdays and Wednesdays, I wasn't anything then. And then by the time I was getting booked through them, I had 100%, 110% stopped going to mics, which is like working out. You got to keep going, otherwise it won't stick.
Mhm. I feel yeah. I had some funny, like, wild experiences at Flappers too. I was like,
Oh man.
I I know I brought my friends at the time to Flappers, and I forgot to buy a drink, and so they didn't call me up, or maybe I got bumped so many times that I didn't even get called up. And so, like, what happened was, since I brought my friends and the mic was over, I just stood at the end of the table for them, and I told my jokes. And they're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Well, I brought my friends here. I had like 4 or 5 friends." I'm like, and I just gave them my jokes, and then I did some more in the parking lot. You know where there's like
Awesome.
parking garage that's nearby. There's like a bunch of them, but there was like one of them. And then I finally interviewed one of the hosts. So I'm like, I travel and had my camera, and I interviewed him. And then he finally threw me up on that stage where it has like that park bench. I'm not sure which room it was, but
Park
it
bench.
had like
Yeah,
a.
there was 3 rooms, if I remember correctly. There was the big room, which had like 400 seats.
Mhm,
and then the smaller room, which was like 50, 60, and
mhm.
then the open mic room, which was just their bar area, which I think was open all the time. I think the bar was always open, but the
Yep.
rooms were, I don't know. I got offered an internship, but then no follow up. So
No,
that's
that's a
happened.
huge
That's
bummer.
happened to me a couple of times. Yeah.
It only happened, like, I had no follow-up from TNA Wrestling when I tried to apply for their internship, but my internship was
Mm.
actually in Los Angeles. That's what brought me to Flappers, and, well,
Well,
actually, I came back, but yeah.
what was your internship?
It sounds crazy now, but this was, like, 2009, which was, like, 16 years ago. I love
Quick
horror
math.
movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so my internship was with Clive Barker, and he's known
So
for, like, Hellraiser, Candyman, all those classics, right? I
awesome.
know. Yep, and so
Trying
my
to think
summer
of my.
internship, do you remember those horror movies from back in the day?
I am a scaredy cat. I
Oh,
tell people that my life is dramatic enough, so I don't need. I love a good haunted house. Like I love an experience, where I can move around. Like to be there and fear. I used to go to. I hated going to horror movies when I was a kid, but I would go in and I would just shut my eyes, so I would
mhm.
listen to more like scary horror movies than I actually watched. And then like if it's ever at the house or forever like watching around friends, I just conk out. For whatever reason,
Oh,
when people are watching a movie is when I feel safe enough to sleep. uh,
ooh.
mm,
But yeah, he's
mm.
written children's books and, like, young adult books, and he had video games, he had action figures, he had it all. He was like a true artist, so
Wow,
and then,
just a
like,
little bit of
the
everything.
last yeah, a little bit of everything. And the last day of my summer internship, I ended up bringing the RZA from the Wu-Tang Clan up there, and then he goes, "It was nuts. It was just the craziest summer." And he goes,
So you
"Well, I love
peaked.
you."
You peaked early. I'm sorry.
I'm still going. Actually, Sareth Glass was born out of his studio. It's
Oh
nuts.
man,
Yep. So I
that's so
carry that
cool.
with me. And that's why you'll see, like, Pinhead in the background, like, on that poster,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
dressed
yeah,
as
yeah. There
yep,
he
dressed
is.
as Hunter S. Thompson. So yeah, that's him. And you'll see, like, the baby Chatterer Centerbite. So I pay homage to Clive because he, like, brought me out of Colorado, and uh
No
and then
kidding.
he loved the way that I brought RZA up, and he goes, "Would you like to be my apprentice?" And so I graduated college, moved back out there, and then became his apprentice for like 2 more years or 3 more years. It was nuts, dude. And so, like, how you mentioned traffic in LA, I had to run errands for him like all over LA. Like
Yeah.
the LA was my stage, and so instead of taking the highways, I took all the side streets, and it made
Yep.
life so much easier. So
Oh my gosh, yeah. Cause so the streets in LA are so difficult for a million reasons that like I already mentioned the ever change or the topography, but the roads were initially built off of like horse and carriage buggies, right? Because they were farm towns. It was not, California before it was a business for making movies because there was so much light. It was a business of growth, of produce, of keeping people alive in that sense. So yeah, horse and buggies. That's why some of those streets are so fucking crazy. I wish I remembered the name of it, but there was this one street and I called it what is it called? It Sun Soaked Death, because when I first found it, it was at that time of day, like right at sunset. So and you're driving towards it, so it's coming right at you.
mhm.
And it was just this like crazy pivot. Like it belonged in San Francisco, and I think I just did. I've been in four car accidents. I did that screaming, and it was fine. That's not when the car accident happened. Car accidents happen to different things. Some of them were my fault, but most of them were not. But now I know how to now I know how to avoid distracted drivers because I was one as a teenager. Those were before the laws of no texting and driving. So kids who are listening, please don't, because I have such dirty humor. Um, uh, don't text and drive.
Don't text and
Fucks,
drive.
it fucks up
That's
everybody's
bad.
day. Yeah.
Man, there's like this intersection that was so weird in Beverly Hills that I'd always sometimes have to cross, and it was like out of all these directions, it was like a bit messed up roundabout. Like no one knew when to go first or last. It was just so horrible. It was like a star-shaped intersection, and it was just like, I can't believe I got to go through this thing. But
Again,
I take like I love like because Clive lives off like if you can take Doheny and then you can easily hop onto the Sunset Strip. He was just like
right.
right there, so it's
I
like
wasn't
heaven
really
on
ever
earth.
in that area too much. One of my favorite mics before I left was and I don't think they exist anymore, was Beverly Hills Comedy, I think, and it was in some like therapist office. Like
Oh.
I don't remember who the name of the kid was, but I was like, you got to be the offspring of one of these. Like, why are we in here? You know, but it had excellent parking. My favorite one was Cantor's Deli in LA. You ever do
Ooh,
the mic
yeah.
at Cantor's?
You know, believe it or not, I only did stand up once, and then I left LA, and then when I came back, I did like 2 more shows. But when I was out there as an internship, my focus was on horror, not anything else. I would drive by the Comedy Store, Laugh Factory, all that stuff. But whenever I did go to Cantor's, I would just go eat for their food, like the
Oh
matzo
man,
ball soup
amazing
and all.
food. They would
Yeah.
if you bought food, your parking was validated. So I was going to buy food anyway and I got a park. And then if you didn't buy anything, it was 3 minutes on the mic, but if you bought something, it was 5 minutes. And excuse me, I keep burping. For the first several times I would buy things, but I would only want to do 3 minutes cuz I talk fast. I listen to everything I do on YouTube or on TikTok is done at full speed. So like this is painfully slow to me. And I'm working on it. And it's like, you should try to slow down because people are nervous. And I'm like, or because people think you're nervous. It's like, well, I am. I'm absolutely, I'm in a constant state of whelm. I don't know. Is it, if it's anxiety or the ADHD or all of the PTSD or the fact that this is my second, I've gone through so many different like tries at careers, right? Like I wanted to be a scientist, fucked that off. And then 2, engineering, wasn't going to deal with the shit for that. And then, I don't know, filmmaking. It's just, I feel like you could, it's about people you know, and there's always an opportunity there. And even though I left film school, I feel like I learned more about, you know, like the societal things of it that were needed to know. And oh man, and then comedy, I fucked off for that. And then photography's always been a thing. I like taking pictures. I think because I'm so ill-equipped to look at things, being blind. I like being able to like zoom forward to bring, you know, things to like, and then my poor memory, as a defense mechanism, my brain forgets information that is unpleasant. So like photos and videos really help me have the ability to go and look back, but I often don't.
So it's kind of like Memento, the
Oh,
movie.
I've never seen it.
Oh, you got to watch Memento. It's so good.
It's
I
on the
love
list.
me. Oh yeah, he uses Polaroid pictures to like remember. It's so
Uh,
wild,
does
so
he lose his
wild. So
memory?
uh, you'll have to watch them. Like it feels like you're watching it forward, but it's actually in reverse. It's so cool.
Okay. You don't want to give too much away. That's nice of you.
I don't want to give too much away. Yep, it's
And
so good.
for our viewers, do we have anybody? Did anyone?
Uh,
I can only see that we're in here.
just one person came around, but I forgot to acknowledge them, or else they would acknowledge, like they would interact in the chat. So the next person that comes around, I'll say, "Hey, just jump in the chat. Just don't be
All
mean to
right,
us."
we got the one saying, "Hey."
It's like a
Ah,
fish. You catch and release it.
oh,
But
nice.
yeah,
That's
it's
nice.
But yeah, do you remember like in Cantor's Deli there was like that section where like Guns N' Roses sat, and they have a picture of Guns N' Roses in that?
Yeah, man, there was a lot of cool places in there. So Cantor's Deli was on one side, but the actual mic was in the Kibitz side. There was like the Cantor's Deli restaurant side, with like the deli counters, so you get your like meats or desserts or whatever you wanted. And then on the other side, it was like a bar venue. And I actually worked more as a camera operator in that venue than I ever was as a stand-up comic. The bands would play there, and I would bring, you know, my little camera. I got my camera cases right there. It's pretty cool looking. Oh, and that's Black
Mhm.
Jesus.
It's Black
Um,
Jesus.
yeah,
Good
I earned
stuff.
that.
He is black. Yeah.
He actually looks here. Let's get closer. He looks like Worf from Star Trek to me,
Oh
but
yeah.
that's very clearly Black Jesus. I earned that. I was it's funny that this is the last Sareth Fest. Oh, you know what? He actually restarted it. But at the time I had ended, I was the last, cat hair everywhere. It was the last running of Eavesdropper, the longest running play on LA. It was the only acting gig that I had at the time. And I guess it was a gig. If you brought people, then you would get half of their ticket sales. So I made like a whole $40 like off of that run there, I played a it was a cool play because there was no intermission, which is exhausting, but it might have been one of those kind of plays where it where if there was an intermission you would leave. Like Vegas has rules about the shows that they bring in there, and often shows have to like reformulate their order to rule out an intermission, because guests will just fuck off. Like you buy a ticket, you go see a thing, but you're drunken in Vegas and you fuck off at intermission. But it was a party from the perspective of an eavesdropper in the bathtub. But there was like a bathtub scene or set that was, and then there was the party scene. So basically it was like an hour plus time, but I was acting the whole time because I was either in the party or in the scene. And the theater, like he got his money. He was a rich kid. A can company. He's an offspring of a famous can company, and he just bought this little theater and was really into black dudes. So like I believe there was like 2 white guys on our huge and there's like 14 of us in the show. We would have rehearsals, and he would like make sure to bring it past the time of like, oh, the train stop at this time. Okay, well, rehearsal's going until 20 after, right? And we're recording the play because I'm a film student, and he's using as much from me as possible, and I'm just trying to make it as anything in the entertainment world. And I run out of camera card space, so I get one of his, and I go and I transfer the footage, and it's just photo shoot after photo shoot of like some young, attractive black guy, you know, probably a wannabe actor, singer, you know, whatever. And when I was there, he went bankrupt in some senses. Like he lost the theater and gave away all of his shit. He lived in a theater. It was a hoarding mess. And he tried to give me books and CDs, and they were all like broken and scratched and missing pages and covers. And I was like, I just want Black Jesus. And I remember him looking really disheartened that I took it off the wall, but I didn't care. I got what I wanted. I thought he was funny. I had 2 black roommates at the time, and I was like, is this offensive? And they were actors too, and they looked at it. I don't like that it's pink. And I was like, okay. I was like, is it badass to have a Black Jesus? He's like, yeah, everything else. I was like, just try to see it as not pink. I think I put like a blue light on it or something. And I was like, it's not pink. I love it. Okay, so I just wanted to be able to hang it up in my house because he makes me giggle every time I look at him.
That's awesome. Good stuff. He reminds me of like I guess like whenever I thought of it, it's like, you know, that insurance company with like the cavemen.
Yeah.
Like, yep, it reminds me of that like Geico. I think they had the cavemen back then, or Progressive.
Yeah,
Who knows? When? Yeah.
I would think
Kind
Jesus would look much more like a caveman than he would like who played Jesus in Jesus Christ Superstar. A very sexy man. I don't know the name, but I will volunteer that it is a sexy man. Yeah, because he was back in the day. Our whole concept of time in modern times is before or after Christ, and yeah, he would be caveman like. That's him right there. I don't know. Yep. I don't know who the artist is, but good job.
Indeed, good job. Yeah, which part of LA did you live in?
Oh yeah, so I'm from Barstow. That's halfway between Las Vegas and LA. Halfway between Las Vegas and LA, and I forget the duck. Blah, blah, blah. That was the radio station that I like to listen to. I wonder if they still exist. They probably do. These are all Googleable things. Anyway, I grew up halfway between Las Vegas and Barstow, and I consider as a major city Las Vegas more of a hometown because my dad had more business there, being in the military and having the accounting business, and then LA. I moved into North Hollywood, which sounds fancy but is not. It was the closest outside of Burbank. Because that's where the film school that I went to, it was in Burbank. So I wanted something close, and holy shit, that was a shit show. Bed bugs everywhere. You know, like how you see furniture on the side of the street at a nice place in like a nice neighborhood. You're like, oh, good, they upgraded their couch. If you see a couch on the side of the street in a shitty neighborhood, it's because they have bugs. And I lived in 2 units there, and the second one, because it was just a studio, like I had a roommate the first time. I didn't want a roommate. I wanted to transfer my deposit. I think there was almost legal issues because our showers didn't work for the longest time. And then to tent for bed bugs, it's like either poison. I have 2 cats. It's either poison or they heat up the walls to a degree that cooks them. And I remember like opening up something after it being cooked, and it was like a knot, like something was knotted, and opening it up and seeing like a little bed bug in there. And it just kept happening because above us, I saw like the wood slots, like, and I saw like carpet nails poking through and like dust falling down. And there was just no way that was going to work. And then by the time, how long did I live there? Through 2012 to 2016-ish, because I moved to Anaheim after I started making more money. And then when I worked for Major League Baseball, I was only assigned to both Dodgers, shout out, and Angels Stadium. Do I have anything Angels? Yeah, there's Mike Scioscia. That's the thing. Anyway, and Anaheim was closer. Fullerton, California is where I lived, which is actually a very baseball college town, which has nothing to do with anything except I guess I like talking about baseball.
Indeed. Yeah, they have a UC Fullerton out there, I think.
Huh?
Yeah. They have like the UC Fullerton.
Yeah, that's like a big feeder school. You want to be there, and yeah, you're in California. At the time, we had 4 teams. Did the A's move to Vegas yet? I don't think so, but we're about to be a 3-state. They're about to be a 3-state team. I'm in Florida now. We have 2 teams.
Yep, and they have the Padres too, so that's like a 4-state team. Yeah.
Padres, Giants, Angels, Dodgers. Oh shit! I didn't count. You know who I didn't count? The Giants, because for whatever reason, Giants versus Dodgers. I was working sorority parties. I was a photographer. I was working sorority parties. Oh, here's a different story. A different, better story. No. And no. The first story I tried to tell. Come on, Alysse, ADHD. You can still tell a story linearly. It was a like angels and demons party, or like good versus evil party, and there was this girl in a Dodgers uniform, and I was like, dude, go Dodgers, right? And it's funny for me to say that because when I was hired, impartiality was super important, so I just had to sit there like a deer in headlights and wait for my turn at the job, because they didn't want you to show you're the league, you're not the team. And she was like, no, fuck the Dodgers. And I was like, well, if they win, if they do well, then I get more work during the postseason. She's like, I don't give a shit. Fuck the Dodgers. And I was like, and that was my first like instance into like hardcore sports fandom. And at the time, I am a fan now, but at the time I didn't give a shit, which is probably why they hired me for that specific position, because I didn't care about baseball. But then after sitting there for 3 years, you fall in love with the game. And then the story I wanted to tell that was better than that story. Okay, photographing sororities. Have you ever done like underage parties?
No, I stay away from those.
Yeah, you would. I'm a female, so I can get away with a little bit more of those things. And I would, there was a business. What was it called? It doesn't matter. But they would cater. They would to specifically sorority people, the graduates of whatever college, just threw epic parties. And once they graduated from the whatever college, they just kept throwing parties. So that's, venues, food, entertainment, and then the thing that's the most important nowadays, which is photographs, because if there's not a photograph, then it didn't happen. And I used to just torture myself at these jobs. Like, they'd only pay me for 90 minutes, but I'd go for the full party, and I'd take a million photos. I'd keep it on burst mode, right? So my camera's going off like a machine gun, giving myself so much work on the back end. And then I get to a party where there was an incident, and a new rule was created after this. Their bus is now to park away, like deep in the parking lot and not close to the venue, so that the kids had to walk up, because the bus had parked in a way where say like curb. Oh, let's do it this way. Curb, bus, and this pre-partying underage drunk sorority. I don't wanted to say bitch, but she's like I don't know. I don't want to be mean to the dead. She stepped off in her stupid shoes. I don't think she died. She stepped off in her stupid shoes from the bus, and instead of going down to the thing and then up in her stupid fucking shoes, she tried to go from that to the curb, and she ate her shit, and she hit her head. And I just remember like seeing the commotion. And my brain now has made it a little bit more bloody in my imagination now. But I was done after that. I mean, I still needed the job. I still needed to take pictures. But I went in and I made 20 minutes look like 3 hours, like easy. The only ones I couldn't do that for so I saw that turmoil and the cops were coming, and then I left. I couldn't help anything. People were going to be traumatized. What the photos were going to look like then. I sent the photos off immediately. They're like due 2 days later, but I don't do that. I send them off immediately because I make my job harder. Or I have so much more work coming up that I was just going to crazy pile on my workload, which I did, which is what led to the burnout, which was what led to me quitting baseball. And anyway, so now I know how to, now less is more. I learned that, but I had to watch someone fucking bleed from the head to realize that. And I've been off high heels ever since.
Golly. Yep. When I was out there, I was I was Clive's apprentice, but I lived there like from 2010 to 2013 or something. So we lived out there, but we didn't know each other. And I lived in Sherman Oaks. I lived in the valley too.
Okay,
So,
yeah, the valley. Mm-hmm.
so I just like
Hot as
took
hell.
like Coldwater Canyon all the way up to his house. But when after I did my thing with him, I was a concert journalist, so I got paid to go to concerts, and I just shot bands like famous rock stars and hung out with them backstage and stuff. So it was like the
That's
dream
cool.
life. Yeah, it was like, and that's what so
I,
that's happened. Like I took the knowledge from Clive in the streets of LA as a concert journalist and applied it to my hometown, Colorado. Didn't think anything of it, and it just blew up. And then I'm like, uh, how am I going to pay for all these like musicians and comedians? And like, you don't have to pay us because you did a lot for us. And I'm like, okay, so I guess we just partied. But eventually, I did, take care of them when I could. And when I like, they just wanted the shirts and the posters and the tote bags. They
that's what
just
I
wanted all
want for
that cool
payment.
stuff. Yeah.
I
So
don't I'm still very new. I've only been doing comedy consecutively for about a year and a half here in Florida. So I haven't asked to be on any shows, let alone get paid. And here you come with, hey, do you want to? And what do you want? And I panicked. And I just said merch. Give
yeah,
me the merch. I just want the merch, please. And remember the last one, man. It's cool. It's just so much work to get. Comics are hard to work with. Is that just me or
it's just, well, sometimes, because sometimes they leave me on red so long that they're like, "Oh, can I do it now?" And I'm like, "Well, I guess the past like 40 people that already responded to me quicker actually got their spots because like the early bird
right?
gets the worm." So like there's like
It
40
does.
storytellers and comedians combined, and it's gonna be and like a bunch of musicians. It's gonna be a wild time. So
A later
storytellers, all that
bird,
stuff.
a late bird can also get a worm, but it's not the worm. Yeah.
Exactly. It's not the worm. And I feel bad because like there was so many comedians that I wanted to put on, but like they just left me on red and then they got too late to me. I'm like, I'm sorry, but these folks got back to me sooner than you did. That's the
The
game.
the upside of being on social media, huh?
Yep. And that's why I can't
Yep.
wait to get off. And as soon as like social media, because as soon as I get off, I'm gonna go play pinball and Cubert and not have to deal with social media ever again. Maybe
Cubert,
I'll put up.
is that the
Yeah.
jumping little guy?
Yep.
Cubert?
hmm I've been trying to get like top 10 scores all over the country. If not top 10, I try to aim for the top score, the high score. So that's like my goal. And
So
as long as I get a mil, huh?
you find Cubert machines and you go and you put your name on it by winning?
Yeah.
That's the coolest thing I've ever that's the coolest thing I've
yeah.
ever heard. Holy shit.
Yep. It brings me so much peace and joy and zen. I'm like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life and live happily ever after. And then like my goal is to play Monster Bash. It's my favorite pinball machine and get a
Mm.
million points in each state. And that's what I want to do for the rest of my time. And
Wow, I
I got
was in
I,
yeah, keep going.
Yeah, I got 36 million points in Indianapolis. I was like, good lord, I can't believe I kept the ball going for that long. I was so happy.
Wow. Yeah, it's the little things. I do love a good victory. I think that's the I didn't growing up I didn't really care much for sports because I didn't really see a place for me in there. And then, getting a job where you're forced to sit there and just be ready for it. Uh it's the victories that aren't yours that feel like yours that are the best. But you with your pinball, that's something else. But I'm so competitive that if I don't reach a certain point, then I get sad again. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like most comedians struggle with depression. I don't want to wish that on you, but is that similar for you?
Oh yeah, I have some days where I have depression. And like my room looks like been through a depressed thunderstorm, which reminds me I gotta get to cleaning or like arrange my shelves or something. It's just a hot mess in here. But I know where everything is, which is weird. Like I know it's a mess. I'm a Capricorn, so I know it's a mess, but I know where everything is at. It's just wild.
That's funny. I'm an Aquarius, but I don't know if you know, but everyone has all of the planets in the solar system, like where they were at your birth. So most of my planets were in Capricorn at birth. So I identify strongly as a Capricorn most times. It's chaos around here. You're only seeing this frame, and even this frame is chaotic. This is my background. I do every Sunday. I do what I call a NAS rap, and I freestyle. Well, I write the rap. I rap about NASCAR each week, and then I put it on the YouTube. And so far, I got nothing from it, but it's so fun. I started rapping with I work at First Coast Comedy. They're the improv theater here. I've heard Alette actually mentioned it in the last episode that she met Wendy there because they were taking classes. I started going to their open jams about a month after moving here. I was doing open mics at Eclipse, but it was pay to play, and then they hired me as a photographer for a thing, and it was like the day before, and I was like, hey, when do I need to be there? And like my batteries are charging, all of my lenses are clean, and then I emailed the day of, hey, are we still doing this? And nothing. So I think that was like a Saturday or Sunday. So then come around Thursday when the mics were, I didn't go. I wasn't going to go and support a mic that left me on red, like wouldn't respond to me. And then I went to First Coast Comedy that was recommended to me by several people that I met that first month that I moved here. But I Googled them and I was like, this is mega professional. And I just felt like a mess. I still do, but more of a controlled mess. And they have a free jam every Thursday. Oh no, it used to be free, but we got so popular that now it's a suggested 10. Like, please pay 10, please pay more, please buy a t-shirt, please come to shows. But I started doing those free classes, and then more things happened. They wanted me to start teching, which is a performance role for sure. You're controlling the musical cues, the punchlines, and what did we have earlier? You said something, and I started singing Limp Bizkit. Like, my brain now will sing itself songs.
Yeah, break stuff. Like my laptop was just taking forever, and I got so frustrated.
Breathe
My
in,
anger,
breathe out.
I know how. I just want
what
to
you gonna do now? I just want to break. You got to keep rolling. Yeah. What? Yeah.
Yeah. I love the DMX version. My favorite. That's like my favorite one. When DMX was on the remix or something.
What's my favorite memory of Limp Bizkit? What was that old school music festival back in the day, like 70s? It was called Woodstock. Thank you. There was a Woodstock 2000. There's a documentary on it on Netflix, and they try to do a Woodstock 2000, but instead of like hippie love peace people, they had I think they had Limp Bizkit, and then they had, I don't know, other really like hardcore rock rap people on there. And there was like rumors flying around at the time that they were going to have a special guest, and they contracted their food out to other companies. So the food there was like insane amounts of money, so people couldn't afford water, and it was just one thing after another. And like he was basically, and he started to Limp Bizkit. What's his name? Doesn't matter. Fred Durst started like breaking the stage, so the kids started doing it. And then at one point at the end of the show, they were like gonna have a candle sequence. And I'm giving away too much from the documentary. You're not gonna watch it. Are you gonna watch it? No.
I did watch it.
Okay, so you remember they were gonna give people candles, and someone was like, "Don't," and they were like, "Fuck you, we're giving them candles." And then fires started, and then I don't remember if it was 2000. So then 2002 is when 9/11 happened, right? And then Fred Durst came out with a cover of Faith, because he was like, man, I really got to rethink all of this violent stuff. And I don't know what he's doing now, but I definitely prefer his I'm an Angry Asshole album more than the newer stuff.
Yeah, I remember they like took down like some plywood and they went surfing on him, and it was just no restrooms. It was like in an
they were swimming in shit.
Hangar.
Like there was water leaking, and they thought it was regular water, but it was shit water. I worked a concert or a man, what do they call it? A festival a couple years ago, Hinterland. That was pretty crazy, but we were like on it. We were definitely on it. We had plenty of bathrooms and water stations, and it was really rainy at the time, so we had to like throw sawdust around. That was pretty cool. I saw a lot of cool bands. I saw a lot of cool bands.
Yeah. My friend Scoot, he's like a big old hippie in Colorado, and he just like I interviewed everyone what Strathfest meant to them, and he was like, "Yeah, it feels like Woodstock '69 or whatever when it first started, because it was just so chill and mellow, and everyone was having fun, and I mean they still do. So it's like I'm glad he compared to Woodstock, with the original Woodstock, because it's just so chill, and like I used to have it outside sometimes, like
Hmm.
in Colorado, but it got so hot and gross, and I was like, I don't ever want to put the fans and the bands or anybody through this ever again. So we
Oh,
kept
that's nice.
everything indoors from there on out. So I was like, and one time it rained like crazy. I'm like, yeah, and then I had to move all the bands that couldn't play onto the next night, and we just alternated back and forth until everyone got to go on. So
Well, that's
it
cool.
it it worked out. Yeah, good times. Let's see here. Yeah, and I guess we covered all the main questions. How long can I keep you? Because I got like two more segments.
Yeah, okay. The segments, this, yes, absolutely. As long
Okay.
as you need me, I know you have Sean at 4. So
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, I this was the thing I was doing today. Now I got stuff later, but that yeah. So go more questions.
Cool.
Wait,
Same
hold on,
here.
wait. First Coast Comedy. It was the rapping. I have a boom bap performance this Saturday. I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to like plug my shit in the middle of my skit. I feel like I'm suddenly running out of time. I started telling a story and then got lost in the First Coast Comedy thing. We started talking about concerts. Um, they have a comedy festival coming up, and similar what made my mind think of it. Sean Steele is going to do and congruent with like First Coast, they have their specific selected comedians and improvers and performers, and then Sean and I are going to run Midnight Hour, which is every Saturday at First Coast Comedy. It's a showcase show, and we're just going to keep. So I think the First Coast Festival is like a 4-day thing, and we're going to keep midnight every night so people can get a comedy festival credit. So comics, if you want to come talk to Sean Steele, we'll fit you in. We want everybody to have a good time. I want more people to know about the theater, the classes. Like, it definitely changed a lot about how I think about comedy and as a multifaceted format.
Indeed. Yeah, it's good to have like one of those comedy festival credits. Like, I don't think like as much as like there's like the big ones. Like mine's like a very small one, very boutique kind of comedy festival. It's like one of those festivals you don't have to get paid to get into, whereas you got to be
Mhm.
invited into, and that's what I prefer. Like, because like when you could do like regular comedy festivals, you got to pay to get in, and then when you get there, it gets super expensive. And I'm like,
Yep, yeah, you have to pay to be looked at. You might not even get picked. I want to be at that point now to start submitting, but I just don't want to have to do that. I want to be asked, which I don't think that's the world that we live in. I think you need to show a lot of initiative. But thank
yeah.
you for asking me to be on it. I'm crazy looking forward to it. October 4th. Mhm.
Yep. One of the cool festivals that doesn't require an admission fee or submission fee is Skankfest.
Oh,
And
that sounds like something I'm going to write that down.
yep, write it down. It's like Big J Okerson, like Louis Gomez, and all those like Legion of Skanks. Like
Where is it?
this year's gonna be in New Orleans because they bounce
Oh,
around
yeah.
everywhere. And so they were in Vegas like last year. Like Rob Ford goes out there and films stuff for him, and it's pretty wild.
I think the
But
easiest next
yeah.
step for me is just to go to more mics, just to drive more. When I first got here, I was doing that a lot, and then I kind of got settled in to First Coast, and then just trying not to suffer from burnout anymore. Like I quit baseball, didn't not because I wanted to. I was burnt out. And I didn't know how messed up I was at the time, and it's taken me 19, 20, 6 years. It's taken me 6 years to figure out how to not hyperventilate about stuff that happened to me when I was a kid, man.
I think you would
What are
be
your
so perfect. I think you'd be so perfect for Chicago. Like that'd be your. You won't have to drive anywhere. You can take the train. It's perfectly well put together, and like you can do improv and sketch. You can do stand up. You can do everything in that town. It's so beautiful and it's so huge. I love it
Mm.
there. But yeah, it's like one of my favorite cities to do stand up in. It's just
Oh man,
beautiful.
yeah. Go Cubs. The 2016 when I started for MLB, it was the Cubs that the year broke their 108-year curse.
Hmm.
And my job was different in the postseason than it was in the regular season. I was a runner in the postseason, which meant I had to run around. I was basically like a PA, a production assistant. And I remember seeing the Cubs. I remember seeing, I following the Dodgers, or just sitting next to the Dodgers for that many, or for a whole season, and then seeing the Cubs. I'm like, man, they look like they're having fun, And it was just, I didn't. The World Series wasn't there, right? Because the Cubs won and then they played. I forgot who they played at the time. Oops, I wasn't there. I wasn't there because it was just Chicago versus the whatever team. But that was one of the coolest things to experience, was to watch a curse be broken. Like, I don't know how superstitious you are, but I feel
Oh,
like
I'm
I've
superstitious. Yeah.
I've left a lot of things crashing and burning, and that one was a really cool thing. Chicago sounds cool. I wrote it down. Skankfest, New
Yeah.
Orleans. That sounds. I want to go there because I'm probably going to see more boobies. I think I'm going to see more
Yeah.
boobies if I go to New Orleans.
Yeah. And I've never been to New Orleans, but I hear it's such a beautiful place to go. Like, like just like the food and like the
New Orleans, yeah.
atmosphere. Yeah. And I've only been to one baseball game, which was the Dodgers game. They played the Rockies because I had to watch them play the Rockies, and
You
they
had
beat the
to.
Rockies. Yep.
Yeah, they're
And they
good
had a
at that.
Dodger dog. I had a Dodger dog, and like they gave me like some dude's bobblehead. I think he dated like Rihanna or something. Can't remember his name, but something.
That's so cool.
Yep.
I would buy tickets to games I worked just so I could get giveaways. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. I never thought to ask. Sometimes people would leave stuff like this is a postseason rally flag, or which
Oh,
is just a
cool.
towel. And
Hmm.
I got that because it was on the floor. I remember like walking and picking it up, and like a fan going, "Please," and I was like, "I'm not. They don't even give me stickers. Like, are you kidding me?" Um, they gave me stickers, and hats. I earned quite a few hats by the end there. Dodger dogs we would get for free at the end of games, and I would give them to homeless creatures because they're not that good. They're not that good of a hot dog.
Well, you had to eat them while you were there, it
Yeah,
just
you
made
gotta.
it the
Yeah.
whole place magical. Like,
Yeah, I guess
and
I
I
wasn't
don't.
getting them fresh. They were just like in the what was it called, the media suite at the end, and I would give them to friends, and I think someone said, "Was I just throw these away." I was like, and then I started giving them to stray dogs, and they didn't throw them away. They ate them real fast. Yeah,
Heck yeah.
dogs love
I
Dodger
miss.
dogs.
Oh yeah, they did love that. When I ate pork, that's when I loved them. And like, what I miss about LA the most is like when I get out of concerts and they had like the bacon wrapped hot dogs. Oh, they were such
Hato,
heaven.
hato, 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 hato. Right? They would yell.
Yeah.
Is it
Oh, it
hot
was
though?
heaven.
Is it hot? Is it hot though? Is it hot?
It is
Um,
hot. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
They
And it smells
started.
so good. Oh,
Uh, they come on like those dented trays with the straight up propane tanks and just like an open flame underneath them. Those were the best ones. Yeah.
yeah. With the
LA,
bell
I
peppers
miss
and the onions.
I
Yeah.
miss the food, and then I miss how there's good and bad, but the comedy world, the entertainment world was so oversaturated there. So like I worked in the music industry for a little bit there. And then that was, but then like the media, this live sports coverage, that was a whole other world. And comedy was like a whole other world. Here it's, it's a lot more, there's less people, so it's more focused on each of us, and we're all getting sick of each other. And I don't know. It's just, I have to tell people, like, I'm not being sarcastic. This is just how my voice sounds. I'm one of the most sincere people you'll ever meet. And then there's the girl talking about sex. No one's taking me seriously, but which is fine because I want you to laugh at me. Like, it's fine. I like it.
Yeah, that's why I love living where I live because then I can just bounce to like Jacksonville, like, which is less than an hour, and Orlando, which is an hour and 20, and Daytona, that's less than an hour. So I live in the
Yeah.
perfect sweet spot for comedy. I didn't think so, but it was like I'll drive an hour to do 5 minutes. I don't care. I'll drive like more than that to do 5 minutes as long as I can get on stage. I don't even care. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I prefer doing that actually because I've been getting on a fairly good amount of shows here in Jacksonville, but
Hmm.
you know, it's still I'm just still talking about my pussy. You know, so people know that they're kind of expecting that. I like the shock value of my sets, and if people understand that I'm going to talk about squirting ahead, even though I have a lot of them, you know, um, so it's new audiences are my favorite, and I talk fast. It was pointed out to me that I treat my competitive side, I treat comedy like a competition, like I'm trying to get as many tally hash marks of jokes, and I think it's like people are missing some jokes because they're laughing, but it's like, man, I don't know. I find an audience. Someone described it to me. Find your metronome. Find the person or table in the audience who are really focused on you, and
Hmm.
then do that for them. So I talk fast. I like talking fast. I know I should talk slow if I want everybody to hear me, but I
Yep.
don't think I want everybody to hear me. I think I want the people who to listen to me are the people who can keep up with me, maybe, and I'll find that person and you know and take them on a ride, and then whatever anyone else gets is what they get. But I think that'll have to go away once I start getting more time, because I'm doing these 20-30 minute sets sometimes, and I'm just like because it's in this joke and this joke and this joke, and then I do my songs, I do my singing and dancing. Oh, okay. Here's a plug. The charity that I picked, Jack's Period Pantry, a period pantry thing where they get donations, and then around Jacksonville they'll give free period products. And I know you don't need any of them, lucky you. Oh, but if someone punches you in the nose, which you tell me, I'll fucking kick their ass. Which actually I wouldn't be the person you'd call if you'd want in a fight. If you'd a food fight, or a if you want someone assaulted with compliments, then I can do that pretty much. Then you put a tampon up your nose if you get a bloody nose. Yeah, and I picked that one because I have a parody song called "I'm Still Bleeding" from Elton John's "I'm Still Standing," which is a deep cut, because if you're gonna do a song about blood, you're gonna want to make it a deep cut. So that's my little plug.
Well, I'm glad. I was going to ask you about that too, but I'm glad you plugged it in. I mean, no pun intended, but
Have you heard that song? I don't know. I don't remember the sets that you've seen.
I don't think so. I remember like you. I remember you singing like "Pony" by Genuine because at the Nog, R.I.P. And because I
R.I.P.
brought
the
you up to.
Nog.
I know I was gonna have Best of the Fest there, but I'm like, you know what? Everyone that I put on the fest this year is Best of the Fest. So
Aw,
there you go.
aw.
Everyone's a champion. So I don't need to have like a specialty show, but I did put like Kindernog Irish Pub Forever on each of the
Aw.
shirts because that's where it all started. But yeah, like I mean, you heard my parody of "She Hates Me,"
That's so good. Puddle of Mud, dude, and
but
it's a good
it's just horrible. But
it's so
all
good
right,
though,
pal. Let's
because
next
it's a
section of the
poop joke.
show,
Are we not
the next
supposed to?
segment.
Okay. Okay. What?
All right, we'll get to the next segment of the show, which is like the all the I interviewed a bunch of comedians. Like there's like hundreds of interviews on my YouTube channel. And with that being said, these are the usual questions. So, what
Mm,
inspired you to perform? I mean, we already went over this, but if people are just watching, what inspired
mm.
you to perform stand up comedy?
I think this is it. I don't know how many other options I have. I mean, I want to do a lot of things as an entertainer. I think to be good at stand-up comedy right now is one of the easiest, freest things to do. And by no means is stand-up comedy easy, especially the way I do it, talking about myself so deeply. Um, I just I like making people laugh. I like educating in that instance. And my favorite comics are vulnerable with why they are the way they are, and I feel like that's helped me in my struggles. And I would like to do that too.
Indeed. Yep. Tragedy plus time equals comedy. So that's what I learned
Yeah,
in this whole thing. And what was it feeling like when you first performed stand up?
it felt like a ride at Disneyland, except you knew you were gonna die. Like campy, exciting, fast, and like a long time coming. Like a long time coming. I thought about being a stand-up as a kid, but I just had never considered it because I was a math and science girl. Like I wasn't an entertainer in any sense of the word. I was just the funny kid in the group sometimes. And what was the question?
What was it feeling like when you first performed stand up?
Oh yeah, and then it a long time coming, right? You have to wait in line. You have to pay. Usually, it's like you have to prepare for it, and it was just a lot of adrenaline. The first time I did stand up, I didn't do any of the jokes that I planned, and I couldn't even tell you the jokes that I had planned. But I go up there, and I was new, and I wasn't expecting to be first. And the girl, my friend at the time, who brought me along is like I've mentioned her in my story before, but not by name because it's not nice. The one that toted me around initially in the comic scene, is just notoriously a mess, and everyone kind of knew her, right? She's like this little quirk, and she brings in me in 2018, 2019, again, the hottest that I've ever been. And the open mic guy goes up, and he's like, anal, butt sex, dry. I don't want to date. I want to fuck. Like, and I was, and like looking at me the whole time. And I go up there, and I was like, okay, thank you for letting me know exactly who you are. And I wasn't expecting to go up so soon, so I didn't press record. Like I hadn't, and I was so nervous that this was my first time. And then I go up there, and everything was off the cuff. I did physical comedy, like trying to pee in a stall or something. I think because I was so like afraid about how sexually aggressive he was being towards me, which is ironic because I'm a very sexually aggressive comic on stage. And just like, I'm going to stay far away from you, and you're the reason why I wear many layers of underwear, because I don't want to be raped. And like, and then they're like laughing because I'm acknowledging everything, and it, the more shock value. I never went back to that mic, and that one is actually, I don't remember the name of it. I want to say Cortez or something like that, but it was the closest like venue right outside Dodger Stadium. So you like drive down it, and then like the mural at the time, I don't think was baseball, because it wasn't baseball season. I wasn't doing stand up while I was doing baseball. It was literally just like the in between, the in between portion of all that. So it was scary and thrilling, and I wanted to do it again. That's what it felt like. That's what it felt like to do stand up for the first time.
Awesome. Yep. When you said like it feels like riding a roller coaster and you're just dying, I was thinking of like Final Destination, one of the sequels. I think it's the second one or something, third one, when they're on that roller coaster and they end up dying. It's just, it's totally worth it.
I would love to die on a roller coaster, but they keep making them safer. God damn it. Actually, you know what? The new one at Universal Studios, don't know what it's called, just killed a person. You Google it. I'm not going to Google sad things. I don't want to fuck up my algorithm. I want to hear just about my sports teams. That's it.
Indeed. Yep. I won't Google it. 'Cause like that's why like I just go to like just give me Hollywood Horror Nights. Just don't put me on it. I don't like when my feet leave the ground. That's all I'm saying. I just forget about it. I know it's horrible. I'm a grounded person, I guess you can say.
I think you know what you like, and that's awesome. I'm still trying to figure it out because the stuff I like isn't exactly healthy for me long term, So
yeah, I just let the universe handle everything. I'm like, here you go, Lord or universe, whatever the higher powers, just guide me where you need me to guide me. But let's see here. What are your favorite comedy specials, records, and comedy records, comedy podcasts?
Tenacious D. That's not him. That is him. Tenacious D. Where is he? Where's Jack Black? That is him. Jack Black. Tenacious D. That first album. I'm just gonna say it again. Tenacious D. That first album. The funniest album. And it's rock and roll, and it's comedy, and it's honest, right? That like best friend thing. KG Kyle Gass is on Dancing with the Stars right now.
Oh wow.
Which I find fun for him. I've got, like how silly. I haven't wanted to watch Dancing with Stars ever, but I love that band and what they did so much that I'll find the highlights on the YouTube. I can do that. And every single, in addition to that, every single one of Bo Burnham's works, right? Musical comic, but he's his own musician. And so it should be Weird Al Yankovic for me, because I do the parodies, but I he's all right. I don't know. I think he's very funny. I think the topics that he chooses aren't mine, so I don't care that much. And the reason why I love Bo Burnham's special so much is that it's so much about him. I feel like Weird Al is trying to teach you stuff, and I guess I should be too as a professor, or it's just like my alter ego type of a thing. But yeah, there's something about that vulnerability. Sarah Silverman's one of her specials, she said, "I need more rape jokes." And oh man, me too. I got a couple. I got a couple of them, and I guess am I supposed to save them for Surf Fest? We're not really doing bits here.
Oh no,
But
yeah, we'll save that for the stage.
all right, all right. So we're not really doing bits here. And she's just a actress, comedian. You Star Trek fan at all?
Kinda. I mean, I love that Tony Todd was in like Deep Space Nine. I think it was. He's like
Nice.
my
Yeah.
he's my hero. He passed away, but he was
Oh,
Candyman, the original Candyman,
oh
from
yeah.
Clive's
Or
movie. Yep, yep,
she
yep.
was in the best 2-part episode of Voyager, in my opinion. And it's you would like it because it's set in L.A. and she's like this really cool chick working in an observatory, and it's this like would be love story by one of the
Mhm,
by the main love story, and it's just this night like they go back in time, and I guess that doesn't matter. I just really like Sarah Silverman, and then Robin Williams for his frenetic energy and he has this quote that I've said on stage a couple of times, but not since not in this new round. Back in LA days, comedians tend to be the saddest people because they know what it's we know what it feels like to feel absolutely worthless, and we don't want anyone else to feel that way.
mhm.
Um, and God, it's just a beautiful message. And he was raunchy, but he was able to. I mean, he was the genie. He's in Disney. Like that's really impressive. He's got, as far as clean, relatable comedy goes, he's got this really good bit about being Episcopalian. And I'm not really a religious person much anymore, but my mom was raised by Catholic nuns, and we found religion, I guess, later because she was a busy businesswoman, and she was a female priest at my church, and it's just this cutest little dollhouse thing. And like she would talk about Robin Williams, like, man, this guy is, like across all these platforms. I do think I probably need to have more material than just what comes out of my vagina jokes. But give me more time to live,
For sure, and I love how Gilbert Gottfried was in Aladdin as well, and like I
Yeah,
did this like
Zazu.
really super dirty set, and Dahlia's rest in peace to Dahlia's too, and it
Oh
was
yeah.
so gross and dirty, but it was like my homage to like Bob Saget and Gilbert because they passed the same year that I released my secret
Mm.
special, and it was called Hail Mary and Satan because it was so graphic and dirty. Like you'd love it. It's like 3-4 minutes long,
Okay, I'm gonna write that
and
down too.
I'll send
Hail.
you the link to remind me. And it was like my version of the Aristocrats. It's just like it's just full gross and but everyone is dying laughing, which was so great. It was like one of those beautiful rooms where you can get as violent and disgusting as possible, and they would love
People
it.
don't think that they like dirty humor, but there's something about it being gross that makes you feel better. The Germans have a word called Schadenfreude, which means happiness at the misfortune of others. And I think that's what I'm doing with my gross comedy. Aren't you glad you're not me? Laugh at me. It's funny. Do it.
Yep, I do love it, and I hope that like that's why like Surf Fest will always not be like for like woke people. It's gonna be for like the politically incorrect, like the dirtiest of the dirty. That's like straight up Daytona comedy, and that's what I love. And that's why I picked all my comics that I picked for that shows like or the fest is like these are my favorite like misfits. These are like
Uh,
my tribe. So yeah. Um, let's see here. Favorite comedy podcast.
don't have one. This one, sir, the
Oh,
stand up speakeasy. I don't listen to podcasts. I don't do
I
it.
don't either.
I don't I really liked talk radio back in the day when I was in LA and traffic mattered. I was on KFI AM 640 24/7 cuz they had all of the different segments. They would let me know what the roads were doing, and that was important for me to know. Now I just want to listen to music. I just want to feel inspired and transported. And there's just so many. there's
Yeah,
just
there are
so
so
many
many.
podcasts. You know what I did listen to? I'm a huge fan of Will Ferrell. He has the podcast as Anchorman, and I listened to like 10 minutes and I was almost too giggly. Like, when do I have time to be this giggly? Like, I need to write my own jokes. I can't be listening to anyone else's jokes. So my favorite comedy podcast is the Stand Up Speakeasy. Go Sareth.
Heck yeah. Well, I wouldn't call mine like a podcast because it's not regular. So I call it a live
Mm,
stream because I'm just like
okay.
it's gonna happen when it happens. So, but I will take that as a podcast because because it's interviewing people, which is like pretty awesome.
I
But
think you can do it. I think, yeah, do it, buddy.
I don't want to. I did one podcast that I created back home in Colorado called Pueblo's Independent Multimedia Podcast, and it's a long name, right? But the
Yeah.
acronym is PIMP, so that's why I
Yeah.
did it. So
Yeah.
it's
Big pimpin'
brilliant.
spending cheese. It is brilliant. Um, I don't want more work to do. I like I
Yeah,
want
I
I
know.
barely want to be on social media. I I yeah, so less work would be better. I don't want a podcast either. So that's two less, everybody watching. There's two less podcasts you never have to listen to. Yay.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, let's see here. And I love me some Tenacious D. I actually saw them in concert in LA at the Wiltern,
I love the
and
Will Turn.
it's so heaven. And like they had like a phoenix in the background, and like at the end, it shot confetti through the pecker. Like the phoenix had a dick head, and it shot confetti through the mouth. It was just so awesome. And I actually have like my journal that because I'm an old school journalist. I write all my notes in a journal, and I
Mhm.
actually still have it. And it's that journal was actually a gift from Clive because he just like he goes he got so mad at me for writing on note cards, so he gave me a journal off his desk. He goes, "I want you to
Aw.
have this. You're a journalist. You use a journal." And I filled it all up and I gave it back to him. And then he goes, he didn't want it because even though I gave a nice description in there, I put to Clive, and like all this other cool stuff in it.
A
And then he
gift
draws
was
this.
rejected.
I know it broke my heart. So no, it didn't really, because what he did after that was like he drew like a penis, like in the shape of a bird, just like the back end of the Tenacious D thing. He didn't, and he just like threw it and he just gave it to me back, and then he loves Goya, the artist Goya. So I found like this Goya journal, and I just like did another one, and I gave it to him, and then he just let me keep the
Wow.
original journal. So it was pretty awesome.
Well, yeah, they're your
Um,
notes. I think he wanted you to have your notes. I think he gave you added art. That's pretty fucking cool. I've done that with gifts. No. You have it. Thank you, though.
yep, yeah.
Um,
And like I'm spoiled because like I told him not to pay me with cash or like put me on the payroll. I said just pay me in knowledge, but not cash. And so
mm,
like and so what he did was he kept on giving me all this beautiful artwork, this fine artwork, and I have like sketches from him. I have like autographs for like Hellraiser, and I have like this beautiful painting that's like,
ah,
and I'm like they're worth more than actual money. It's just nuts. I got to
mhm.
learn. Like I got to do some appraisals and
Yeah,
whatever. But he
the
just gave me
value in
too much
having
stuff.
it. Hopefully, your retirement. I mean, have you like saved up? You're good to not make any money for the next, or you think you're gonna do like shows every once in a while to help like supplement your income?
Like we get paid for these comedy shows. Come on.
You're
Like
right. I make tens of dollars a week on comedy. I don't want to brag.
yep. I'm good for the rest of my life, I think. So I'm happy.
Wow.
So
Good for you,
yeah.
man.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. And it's like pinball and Cubert's way cheaper than stand up. It really is.
Yeah, because you
I
got to
think.
drive to the places. You got to buy the drinks for the places. Yeah, I think I do love stand up comedy. I'm hoping it's a stepping stone, for other stuff. I'd like to write radio jingles and things like that. You heard that Sareth Fest rap, right? I could do similar things, but I don't know how to. I think you have to like put yourself out there. I'm not doing that. So I guess in time.
Yep. You dream. You got to dream big. And you know what's crazy is like my friends didn't want to like the attention, and like I remember going to this Hollywood party. I can't remember where, but it was after like some kind of like shock fest or whatever, and it was like a film festival. And like the person that I was with, the VP of Clive's company, he was like, "Yeah, I don't feel like getting out of my seat." And I'm like, "Fine." So what I did was I went to everyone. I'm like, "Hey, everyone, if you want to meet Clive Barker's vice president, he's sitting right over there." And all of a sudden, the whole party moved to him instead of him going all over the place. Like, hey, you asked for it, and I made it happen. So there you go.
Ask and you shall receive.
Yeah, pretty much. And he was so mad that I left early. I'm like, hey, you should have been a social butterfly like me, and learn how to network and talk to people. It's not that hard, but it worked out in the end. So, yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm meeting more people. I'm feeling more confident. I'm not going to stop anytime soon. Every time I quit a profession, I don't come back. But this is the second time I'm trying comedy, so maybe that's the charm. Maybe I need to quit again and do it a third time. But I don't think third time is always the charm. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I quit so many times. I'm like, I'm so over quitting. It was the only reason why I quit every year was to put cheeks in seats, and it worked every single time. But
Yeah, there you go. I'm gonna just call it taking breaks because, like, hey guys, it's the same jokes. I don't want to tell the same jokes. Wait for me to write new jokes. And I've taken a couple of not doing it for a month or something in this last year and a half, but it's not like I'm not. But then I was doing improv, so it's not like I wasn't not doing stuff.
the best part is though going to different cities and trying your material because they
Yeah.
haven't heard it yet. So
No,
what's
I
old to
know.
you is new to them. So it's
Yeah.
pretty awesome.
Keep
And
traveling.
you should, since you write songs about NASCAR, why don't you work for NASCAR in Daytona?
I would love to. NASCAR, Daytona, I would love to work for you guys. I don't know how to do it. It's actually here's a real quick story, and it's all, I don't know, available online to kind of track the progress. I went to a NASCAR track alone for the first time. Like, I became a fan because my boyfriend at the time was a fan, but I started becoming a fan the same time I started working for baseball. So it's like, oh, sports are awesome. And I would only go to races with him or my parents. And I'm single now. I asked my sister if she wanted to go, and because it's not, when my parents go to NASCAR, they buy they just buy the really expensive tickets and all of the things, and you there's air conditioning and food is provided. I didn't do that. I didn't do any of that. I went alone to the Daytona 500 this year, and I was alone, and I know that about me. And I kind of treated myself similarly to how I do when I do stand-up comedy, except for the fact that I didn't dress like a slut. When I do stand-up comedy, I talk about sex, so I dress sexy. I try to be fun to both look at and listen to, right? I'm a performer. I'm trying to do it all. But I didn't do that for Daytona. I covered up my tits, what I think is my best quality. And I am such a fan of NASCAR. Like, it's absolutely fucking insane. And I'm sitting there and I'm watching the race, and I watched the whole race from my seat. And the people around me, they're like, you could tell that I was alone by that time. By the time the race is done, you can tell that I was alone. I had gone into like ADHD hyper focus mode. It had started to rain. I think I peed once or something, and I was just like, I love rain. I'm getting wet. I paid a couple to can you just buy me a burger? Like, I just didn't want to miss anything because they were playing stuff on like the jumbo screen. The music was awesome. And I don't know. I was so excited to be there, and I was there alone, which was cool. Usually you want people to do stuff with you, and I didn't need it then. So I was proud of myself. And towards the end, the climax of the race, and my drivers are in the front, and it all matters. And this guy, coming and going, he's needing to pee because he's drinking, and I love day drinking, but I was alone. I had to drive home. I believe I had pulled a couple of all-nighters beforehand because of comedy work and whatnot. And he passes in front of me, and he leans in to kiss me, and I just kind of like leaned away, and then I let him go back to his spot. I'm just like keeping eyes on him, and I remember watching the race, going with my focus split, going, man, I waited all year for this, like, this was my birthday gift to myself to go to the race. And and the race ends, my drivers lose, and I was disappointed in that, I guess. But usually I don't care if my drivers lose. Usually just being at the race and seeing it happen is enough for me to be like, good, woo, rock and roll, NASCAR, awesome. But I remember needing to like shake myself out of it, and then like watching him leave, and then like waiting and just doing the thing that I usually do in the past, which is just let it happen, let it slide. Because what would have done? If I would have brought anyone's attention to it, I would have had to leave the race. I would have had to stop watching the thing that I was there to do. And my hyper focus wouldn't let me do that. Or I could have said, fuck you, and started some sort of fight. And it's all hearsay at this point. I could have got a picture. And then I find out later, I remember that there are these signs in the bathroom, like, hey, if you need anything, text or call this number. I could have got a picture of the guy. I could have texted him the number. But then I could have done that. And I feel guilty now after the fact, but I was just so dazed. And then right after that, I went into just a severe depression, and I was trying to do clean comedy at the time. I think then too, maybe, or something. A lot of things kind of lined up, and it was just absolutely awful. Fast forward to the Coca-Cola 600 or 400. It's a number. I think it goes down 600, 400. Because yes, the Coca-Cola 600 at Daytona Racetrack. And I make sure I see the sign. I am in a spot. I sit in a different spot. I'm injured this time. I was like, man, if I was moving around, he wouldn't have noticed. And then my brain is doing all these things. Like, he could have walked away. He could have asked someone for help. But I mean, that was the seat I paid for. So this second time I moved around a lot. And then I eventually found a spot, which was right before pit road happened. So I saw right around another turn. Oh, it's just very, very cool. And I started writing NAS raps every week. So I am trying to work for him in a sense. I am trying. That is my next step. Look at my NAS raps. I'll send you something. You don't have to listen to it. Or initially when I talked about the attempted assault, right? Which is what the kiss was, or the attempted kiss was, I wrote like a poem about it. And the only one that approached was someone, just a stranger, was like, that sucks that happened to you. And then I made a response of like, you know what? It's society's fault. I'm not, we all could have behaved differently. And then I started making NAS raps. And right before, the day before the recent race, which was not too long ago, I did my NAS rap right before the race. And I improv the second half, and I did it to Elvis Crespo's Suavemente. So, you know, besame, kiss me. So I thought that was pretty poetic. And I'm still doing them, but they've gone kind of downhill since then. And I think I'm spreading myself too thin. I'm also giving myself a weird deadline. Like, I only work on it the day before a race, and then I'm exhausted. And then I'm watching the race, which is the hardest part of my week because I care so much that it stresses me out. Yeah, so we'll see. Thank you for the suggestion. I want that too.
Indeed. I should have told well, we'll move on after I tell you this one, because like I forgot to tell you, like they usually have job fairs there at at the Speedway, and they have hiring sessions for like all the teams, like soccer and all this other stuff. So like follow them on social media, and then you'll find out when their next job fair is, because then you'll get. I hope you get hired on the spot about it, because like you're so passionate about NASCAR. Like, and you should live where I live, so that way you can be close to Jacksonville and Daytona, and you're perfect in the middle.
All of these things should happen. I'm a weird person now. Like, oh, what is this Professor Squirt? Who is she gonna only talk about sex? I'm like, oh, maybe, I don't know. I know things. I know other things too. I do.
Yeah, indeed. So yeah, and it's perfect in this, like, because you're in between both Buc-ee's, and it's heaven on earth. But yeah, like Buc-ee's butt cheeks is what I like to call it. But
best bathrooms ever. I think I gotta. Where's my Buc-ee? He's somewhere. He's back. He's back in the pile of shit right there.
Just don't go to, like, I heard there was like a cruising spot in the Daytona Buc-ee's bathroom for the men. Just don't.
Women don't really have that. We don't. Yeah. We already spend too much time in the bathroom with our hair and makeup and shit. We got all these flaps and folds to take care of. I don't need. My favorite part about Buc-ee's bathrooms, other than everything, is that they got the light on. So just like from immediately entering the bathroom, you could look up, and I'm short as hell. You're short. You understand. It sucks being short. You can't see over shit. But I know where there's an empty bathroom at Buc-ee's, just fucking beeline. Put my beaver on that seat.
You are so wild. All right. So like Tenacious D, like I loved their HBO series that turned into like a PG-13 of like Pick of Destiny, right? So I want to know what are your favorite sitcom, sketch shows, and comedy films are.
Well, Talladega Nights, sports movie, comedy movie, Talladega Nights, Ballad of Ricky Bobby. I don't remember many nights, and there's no fucking singing. I want to make a sequel. I want to write the sequel to Talladega 2. I want to call it Talladega Way Brighter, Talladega Days, Way Brighter Than Nights. And I will have singing. Like there's no way that there wouldn't be singing from me doing it. Will Ferrell's got like 2 musicals under his belt with Spirited. I think so. Most of my favorite things, so sitcoms, Scrubs, and I'm just going to keep mentioning musical things because you're a music guy. Have you ever seen the episode My Musical?
I didn't watch Scrubs.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. It's medical sitcom. Everyone fucks each other by the end. It's fine. It's interesting because the main character, Zach Braff, is in his head a lot, and he'll go bloop, 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 and then he'll live his fantasy. So it's like similar to that 70s show, a lot of fantasy sequences, a lot of very fun things. And back in the 90s, 2000s, when this was happening, it was very trendy to do a musical episode. Buffy had one off the top of my head, and I forget a couple of other ones that had one. But Scrubs had a genius one because it was like, because of the medical thing, they factored it into the storyline. And then that was pretty awesome. Friends. I've related to every single character in Friends. I think the most Rachel, because I was kind of a princess growing up. And then I turned into more of a Monica in my early 20s because I was more hosty and entertaining and way more clean than I am now. I had roommates. I don't have roommates now, so I don't give a shit what my fucking place looks like now. Man, movies. I already talked about Talladega Nights. Musicals. The musical that changed my life was probably Spring Awakening. You ever hear of that one?
No.
No, man.
I
I
don't
guess
I
we're just
don't
gonna...
do I don't do musicals. I'm
Rent.
so sorry.
Oh man.
Yes,
Okay. Okay. Okay.
I
Oh, no,
know
no, no.
Rent.
Have you ever seen Repo with
Uh,
a Paris
I know
Hilton?
it's.
It's a rock opera.
Mhm. I've heard about
Okay.
it, like Repo the Genetic Opera.
It is
Mhm.
the. I'm sorry. I got the title wrong. So he good for you. You got the title right. That's a really good one. Oh man. Yeah, I guess I could go on forever and ever. Right now, I'm more of a Joey because I eat sandwiches 5 to 7 days a week, and I'm trying to be an entertainer, whatever. And
Yeah.
then Chandler, the sarcastic one, always making stupid, obvious jokes. And I'm not too much of a nerd as a dinosaur person, but I can try. My favorite dinosaur is the one that spits on Newman. Oh,
Mhm.
Seinfeld. Obviously Seinfeld as one of my favorites. The guy who tried to kiss me looked like a cross between the Costanza character and the Seinfeld character. So imagine this: the goofy vulnerability of Costanza, right? And then the confidence, humor, sarcasticness, the sarcastic confidence of Jerry Seinfeld in one little package, thinking he was the shit, thinking he was the absolute shit.
Mhm. Yep, like, Kayla Mai gave me, like,
Oh,
Costanza sticker when he's, like, shirtless and he has, like, that sticker, and then
yeah,
my
yeah, yeah,
friend
where he's
Iggy.
sexy.
Yeah. My friend Iggy does this Jerry Seinfeld, like, impersonation on stage, and it's hilarious. But he
Wow.
reenacts, like, parts of the Seinfeld, like, he plays, like, all the characters for the most part. He's so
That's
talented.
that's fucking
And
impressive.
but when I yeah, you'll love that guy. I mean, he's not performing this year, but he usually goes to, like, he lives in Ormond now, but, he's a Russian Jewish guy, and then, like, you wouldn't have expected him to make a perfect dead-on impersonation of all these Seinfeld characters. It's so great. And then he's because he has that accent, but he does it, and it's so spot on. And
Wow.
like I can picture you and like Ricky Bobby doing like a rollin', like Limp Bizkit cover in part two. That'd be so
Well,
hilarious.
that's the nicest thing that you've said to me, other than "Will you want to be on Sareth Fest?" That was the nicest thing. And I wanted to know why you picked me, but you're just like, you're a raunchy misfit. You felt that in me, and you're like, yeah, Sareth Fest. Awesome.
And I thought you would be perfect for the show because, like, you have that improv background, and I'm like, I picked the comics that I made sure that it played towards their strengths, and so, that was like to me one of your strengths is improv and stand up, and so I'll throw you onto this show because it's a fun show. It's like alphabet soup is like you say A is for the audience says A is for apple or whatever, and then you have to make a joke on the spot about it, which is pretty neat.
Awesome.
I just experimented at Christy B's place. And then High and Dry is like comedians write down two topics and put it in a bowl, and like each comic has to draw two topics randomly and make up a set on the spot. So the first 5 minutes for
Awesome.
each one, and yeah, like Marcus Crespo and Christina Shriver inspired me with After Dark Hot Topic, and I had to do a set called about cruise ships and bag of raccoons, and so that's my homage to them. So and that set turned out to be so perfect. I was like, good lord, where did these jokes came from? So now I got to write down the questions that I like the skits like I got to send you Hail Mary and Satan,
Yes.
and I got to send you the uh Hot Topic too. So, and I'll put to send
And then I'm gonna send
to
you
Alysse.
my NASA, just the one that talks about if you wanted to the one that talk the Spanish one of the NAS raps, because
Awesome.
it is funny, and I talk about the Ricky Bobby the stuff. I think of all the comedy goals that I have that are big is being a writer on a major motion picture. Yeah, that would be fucking cool.
Heck yeah. And you should join Jack's Film Bar Mondays because they meet up every Monday from like 6 to like 9 or
Jack's
something or 10.
Film Bar Mondays.
Yep.
Okay,
And
yeah.
it's they're on like a Facebook group and they're so involved in the Jacksonville movie scene, like film scene. It's insane. Like this movie called Artifice Girl, my friend Franklin Rich did. Like it got so many awards worldwide, and then they filmed it in 3 like rooms in Jacksonville, and it got like
Wow.
worldwide acclaim. Like it was nuts. So what dreams may
Cool.
come, anyways. Speaking of Robin Williams, what dreams may come. But
Yeah.
and favorite sketch shows.
Whose line is it anyway? I think that's probably a little too obvious, but I mean, I know they rehearse it. It's not exactly live. Like First Coast Comedy, all of our shows are live. We put it on YouTube every Saturday and Sunday. So they rehearse for it, but it's still just fucking hilarious. I mean, I almost think rehearsing for it is harder than doing it live. Live, um, it's just whatever comes out, and rehearsing it is like, no, let's make it the best with the time. And I don't know. So I think, yeah, that probably, if I continue to do well and stay in this world, that's probably not hopefully too far of a goal off of what I want to do, or, to be on that show. But I'd have to be someone. It's no ones are on that show. You got to be someone to be on that show.
Well, I believe you can get there, especially if you go to like SAC Comedy Club in Orlando. That's where Wayne Brady got his start.
Sac Comedy
And
Club.
yep, SAK. So, and they would love you. Like my friend A. Ali Flores is a teacher there. So
Aw.
definitely go to SAC Comedy Club. It's like downtown in Orlando, so totally worth it. So don't waste your time with the other ones in Central Florida. Just go straight to SAC
Goes just
Comedy
straight to the
Club.
tip of the, yeah, that's where all of the nerve endings are, straight to the tip of the dick. Mm.
Indeed, if you say so. Let's see here. If you can go on tour with any comedian locally and internationally known, which comics would you like to go on tour with?
Oh man. Taylor Tomlinson, very famous right now. She brings in a lot of people, but she talks about being bipolar and dipping in, like trying to try out bisexuality, but being afraid because what's the joke? She doesn't want to be bad at anything as an adult. But with my mental issues and stuff like that, I think it would probably go well along with hers. But she does more storytelling stuff, and I'm not there yet. I am a punchline comic right now. I'm getting there. I'm weaving some stories in, but just the lull of saying something and not having people laugh is not something I am used to. And I've been slower, calmer sometimes, but usually I just and it speeds up. So I'm not sure when I'll be ready for anything like that. Wanted to go on tour with you, but you're done. But if we just go to arcades, that's fun too.
Yeah, sounds like a plan. Yeah, I just got done doing I'm actually having another tour coming up. I'm doing like Melbourne, Orlando, and end with Sareth Fest. So it's like a bunch of like dates lined up back to back to back. And I just
Man,
did the Ohio and Indianapolis, but I did like 4 performances. So it's just so fun.
I
Just
kind of
going on these
wasted
little
these.
tours.
Yeah, I kind of wasted these minutes. I should have asked you how you get these. But if I'm not even willing to ask local comics to put me on their shows, to ask far away comics, we'll say I don't know how far away that is, but I want that too. I want to be you, Sareth, but with half the
Well,
work. I don't want my own fest. Sounds
indeed,
like work.
I'll teach you my secrets, Grasshopper. It's super
Thank you.
easy. Yep. Indeed. Awesome. And so if you can get roasted by 5 comedians, top 5 dead or alive, which comics would you like to get roasted by?
Roasted?
Mhm.
Oh, so my plan, there's a roasting mic in Jacksonville that I haven't psyched myself up for yet, and I think it's only once a month. I want to go, but with the intent, I'm spoiling too much now, but with the intent to compliment incessantly. So if I would want people to roast me, then I would want to be able to compliment them incessantly. So I guess Will Ferrell is at the top of the list. Or are we getting like Who's the? Oh man, I don't really. He's famous for being a roast comic, and he does that podcast that everyone's doing. That's in
Tony Hinchcliffe.
Tony Hinchcliffe, because he's such an asshole. I would allow him to roast me, and then I would make him look like a further asshole by complimenting him incessantly. Like it would be, like just kind of throw him off. Like, can you be nice to someone? So there's another one. And I guess that's it. I don't know. If Taylor wanted to, she could roast me, but I call myself a wildflower. Like I only bloom under specific circumstances, and I'm only pretty for so long. And then you got to wait a whole other year.
Indeed. I think that'll do, because like I got like 7 more minutes before I got to jump on with Sean. So we'll just pick those folks.
Wait. I know you nominate other people. So I'm going to send you their social media profiles. But for this podcast, and I know you don't know her, but she's a local Jax comedian. Her handle is Perry Noid. It's a pun off of her last name. And I don't want to give too much away, but she's recently on a medical mandated sabbatical from her schooling and is fully a comic right now. Marcus Crespo and Flo Funny, I noticed that they weren't on your list. They're both improvers as well. And then the last one, Ben St. John, hosts a mic, calls it Magic Mike every one Friday a month in St. Augustine. He also does improv with me, and then him and I are directing First Coast Comedy's next sketch comedy, which is Night Train, which premieres in about a month. So that's it. Okay, now you can hang up on me. Goodbye, Sareth.
Oh no! Wait! I got some more questions. We don't have to like leave right away, but but we'll speed round it. We got like 5 minutes left, but I made sure to write down all those. All right, we'll speed round these. Which other forms of comedy would you like to venture off into, like improv, sketch, comedy writing, acting, directing, etc.?
Oh man, nothing's more exciting than improv rapping. Like the NAS raps, I really got to write down ahead of time to make sure the thing's falling through the meter, and then get the song that matches. That takes me the long time. But Boom Bap, the show that I've already plugged this Saturday night, by the way, at 9:30 p.m. It's improv comedy. Boom Bap is not a thing for us. Like, it's a common way to teach improv rapping, and it's just silly. It's like, sure, we battle rap, but it's like gingivitis and floss, or a fly swatter and a fly. Like it's off the cuff, and it's absolutely hilarious. And performing stand up, you're up there all by yourself, and it's a little scary, but performing improv with your buddies, they're right there. I think my brain is fast. I think it will help, because I do want to work in advertising. I think I'd be fairly good at that. So nothing's better than improv rapping for the sake of comedy. It's like a triple, like it's all of them in one.
Absolutely. And what's your favorite joke a comic has written?
Bo Burnham's, I like the word poop. Sorry, because your mouth makes the same thing that your butthole does when it poops. But he says it better. His very concise way of saying it is much better. But it's true. It's the funniest thing. And I find poop humor very funny, and most people do. And I don't know. That's my favorite joke. It's silly.
And what experience would you like what experience would you like your audience to take with them after a set is over?
I want them to be winded. Right? I want them to be glad I'm done. I want them to have laughed hard, and I want them to have learned something or relate to something. Mm-hmm.
Yep. You're like the no effects of comedy, like 30-second boom, 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 boom. This is pretty awesome. Like they have like 30-second songs, and it's just like rapid fire. It's just, yeah.
I need shorter songs. They're all like 2 to 4 minutes, but yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah. And let's see here. So we got the nominees out of the way. So which this is stand-up speakeasy. Like you got to be invited to be on this show. So repeat the comedians that you want to see on the show.
Oh, I'll do it calmly now. Perry Noid. Perrynoid, Perrynoid on Instagram. She was the one that really helped my comedy at the beginning here in Jacksonville. Also talked about sex, but is going to medical school. So just an incredibly intelligent individual. And there was a comic in the scene who was doing callbacks to my jokes, but they weren't callbacks because they weren't punchlines, and it just sounded mean to me. And it was peeing a squirt, and your vibrator is going to destroy your vagina. And like a lot, she would say that, like, okay, really? And I was sad about it. And then oh my gosh, then my friend Paranoid, she was like, no, it's real, and like sent me medical stuff of like, here, this is how you can prove that squirting is its own unique magical genetic biological thing. And she really helped me out. She's a good friend. She's trying really hard in comedy right now, and I want that for her. I think she probably should be a doctor. I think she'd be good at it, but it's literally trying to kill her right now. And I think laughter is the best medicine. So okay, so that was her. And
It
then
really is.
just to continue to plug my my improvness, I met Flo Funny and Marcus Crespo at the same spot at First Coast Comedy. We do improv all the time together, and it's just awesome. I think us improv stand-up comedians are a little bit more well-rounded because we have more to our entertainment than just just the words that are coming out of our mouths when we're on the stage. And I'm really impressed with the work that they have done. And yeah, I would say Crespo is probably one of the most. Oh, and then anyone who runs any of the mics around here would probably be a good idea. And then I skipped ahead to
Awesome.
Ben St. John. And I'll send you their links so it's easy. He hosts Magic Mike again in St. Augustine, and that's an all over the board open mic. So you can do poetry, music, or anything like that. Very fun venue. You and I have performed at that venue once together. I think just recently in June. So,
Yep.
and then him and I are gonna do a sketch comedy show that will start. Yeah, Boom Bap is ending. I'm devastated. Boom Bap is ending because it's just like a small run of a show, and then Night Train. But I'm in that too. So we should be good.
Yeah. Indeed. And so we are raising funds for the Jacksonville Period Pantry with this episode. So all of Alysse's links are there, and so also the Jacksonville um, Period Pantry is also information is down there. So just click and donate and follow and all that good stuff. And where can the audience find you next?
Next, well, I'm at First Coast Comedy a lot, and then Sareth Fest, and then hopefully NASCAR tracks, right?
Yep, NASCAR tracks. Yep. For my dates, I have September 24th at 7:30 p.m. at Lynch's Irish Pub in Jacksonville Beach, Florida. Then I got September 27th at 8 p.m. at the Dog Pound Sports Bar and Arcade. And then I'm going on tour for the There's Something About Scarface tour, which is September 30th at 8 p.m. at the Moon Room at Pineapple again in Melbourne, Florida. October 1st at 7 p.m. at the Funny Bones Side Stage in Orlando. October 1st at the Bull and Bush Pub in Orlando at 9 p.m. October 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, 6:30 and 8:30 p.m. at Punk Rock Pizza in Daytona Beach. October 5th and 1 and 1:30 p.m. at World's Most Famous Brewery and Punk Rock Pizza for the last Sareth Fest. That's about it.
Wow.
Any final words you'd like to give out to the audience at home?
I think that's just a very clear before and after of someone who's been doing comedy for years to a year. two shows versus, what was that, 22? That's a lot. Good job, Sareth.
Something like that. I think 1, 2, 3.
No wonder you
4,
want to
5,
retire.
6,
That
7,
sounds
8, 9,
exhausting.
10, 11, 13 in like about a week, or maybe like a little over a week. But yeah, it's nuts. One's an open mic, so I count that too whenever I go on tour. I'm like, sometimes I got to come up with some fresh jokes, and so I squeeze in an open mic and include that in there. So
yeah. It really depends. Here's my cat. It really depends on
hey cat.
I every open mic is a show for me. It's whether I not it's if I use new material is if it's just an open mic or not. It's always a performance, right? But if it's new material, then it feels more open micy because you are trying something new versus what works on most occasions. Works on most occasions. Sometimes jokes don't land and you're like, that's my best one. Maybe you can't relate.
Yep, it's different in every room. I do. I can relate. Like I ate so many wings like all over the place, but Speaking of wings, there's a place called Big Wings in North Hollywood that you should go to. But
I've been there.
I don't
I
know. I'm not sure.
worked
Yeah, it's
Super Bowl party,
fantastic.
not Super Bowl parties, football parties there as a photographer. That no nothing bad happened to me there. I would flash people, but just with my camera flash.
Yes, your camera flash. Awesome. Alysse, is there any like final words you'd like to give out to the audience?
Thanks for watching. An hour and 50 minutes is a long time. You should have been doing something else with your time. I'm a little embarrassed for you, audience. I'm kidding. Thank you so much. I love all you guys.
Awesome, Alysse. And thank you so much to Kano Spa, Kwan's Kitchen, Chico, Kyle Longfist Photography, everyone back home in Colorado for Sareth Fest Pueblo, everyone here in Daytona Beach in Florida for like all the comedians, storytellers, musicians, Punk Rock Pizza, world's most famous brewery. I'm so thankful for every one of you. We will see you at the show. Come support us. It's free to get in. Why not? Let's party. All right. See you
Let's
later. Take
party.
care. We will.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.